I am the beneficiary making this recording in propria persona. Let the record show that I, party creditor, reserve all my rights per the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and the United States Constitution Bill of Rights. I'm making this recording because I kind of wanted to break down certain codes of the universe, right? Or certain remedies or certain codes that's used as remedies for contracts within this that governs this universe, right? One of those codes is called the Uniform Commercial Code, UCC 1-308. I'm currently in the library right now, and one time I actually tried to acquire this book, and this book is so powerful that it's government docked. It's in a vault somewhere in the library. We can't even get it unless we're studying for it. This is how powerful that shit is now. Like, people don't realize that UCC is powerful. They don't want people to know about it. Because if they knew about it, they'd be putting it on every contract that they sign. People don't even know how to contest basic contracts that they didn't understand. Like, say I sign a contract with the library and say, hey, I wanna do my nonprofit here. I'm gonna do it 3 days out the week. Now I violate that contract by, or say like I give them, say like whatever I make in my grant earnings, I will rent a space and give you X amount within the money that I make with the grant earnings, right? Boom. Now say I violate that contract and I don't give them the required, the agreed upon requirement of whatever I was supposed to pay them to rent the space to do my nonprofit for that day, right? So boom. Now, if I didn't understand the contract in total, because in any agreement, oral or verbal, you have to fully understand the contract. If you do not fully understand the contract, that's why in any agreement you read, it will ask you, did you fully understand, or do you fully understand this contract or this agreement or these terms and conditions? If you either check yes or you sign with your name, you're stating that you do. Now, sometimes we may skip over it, and you could just use the simple thing as, okay, well, I didn't read that part. I didn't get that part. I didn't totally understand this clause of the contract. So since I didn't get that comprehension, or since I didn't get that understanding, I would like to use a remedy. Now, the courts or whoever, they're going to use any type of remedy. They're going to be like, they're going to give a remedy, like a administrative remedy that you can use or you can refuse. It's up to you. You don't have to use that remedy. I use a remedy that's so powerful that every time I use it in court, they end up giving me a plea and go home. I'm talking about niggas thought I was telling in jail because I use this remedy, the UCC remedy. This book is so fucking powerful. It is government docked in the library, in Detroit Public Main Library. I can't even get in unless I'm studying. Trust me, I done tried. The UCC, when I went to the bookstore, I asked for the UCC. Her eyes lit up like, boy, that's an expensive book. The latest UCC book right now costs a used car. The book is almost almost $7,000. That's how powerful that UCC is, because everything is contract and commerce. The definition of commerce means the buy, sales, and trades of large commodities or commodities, or security risks or security interests, however you want to put it, right? So it's basically the buy, sales, and trades of goods and commodities. So what people got to understand is that's how the world operates. It operates off trade, not money system. That's another thing they don't want y'all to know. They don't want y'all to know that tangible money, like reserve notes, like $100 bills, 50s, 20s, 10s, 5s, 1s, 2s, they're actually not worth shit. We kill and we rob over something that, if the only thing you could do with it is make a fucking paper plane out of it. You can make a fire, stay warm. But it's just basically like, It's kind of somewhat of the collateral for the actual substance. Like this table is worth more than $100. The value is up to man. Man gives the value to this table right here. You get what I'm saying? Man gives the value to this chair. Man gives the value of man or woman. She might be $1 million bitch to me, but to some niggas, she probably up worth $100. That's just the value is set from a man's perspective or human's perspective, right? So as I dig into this, deciphering of this code, a lot of people would like to say, oh, he's the devil, he's the demon, he's Satan, he's this, that, and the third, he's a false prophet, he's everything under the sun that I'm not, right? So I would just like to break this down a little bit, because it says in the book of Enoch, like at the end games, they basically gonna have a time where, the devil gets locked down or whatever the case may be. But I kind of understand why they want to make me seem or look as if I'm the devil, because of the code that I adopted. But understand that this code was adopted to beat the old system, to get these people what they needed, to get these people off the ground, to get them a building, not work hard, grind, blood, sweat, and tears, and stealing to get, no. These people got plenty of build. I'm talking about old federal, like the old federal building across the street from Greyhound bus station. They're not using that building. That building is like, they got security in that building just to watch over the building. There's nothing, like, they're not using that building. It's perfect for housing. You know what I'm saying? And I thought about it when I seen it. And I actually tried to get the number to call to people to try to make something happen. But what people fail to realize is at the end games, like certain signs is going to be shown to where, and this ain't no conspiracy theory. This is actually something real. Like if you're like, it'll be less about capitalism and more like communist. Like there's going to be certain hubs of kingdoms. You feel me? And one of them is Christ's kingdom. And you're going to have your cults. You're going to have whatever, whatever. But it's certain kingdoms that's going to be about. And trade is going to have to be made amongst them kingdoms. It's going to literally probably be like something like the Maze Runners, where they got kids who's immune to all these diseases and shit like that, running tests on them and, pushing them to their limits, to awaken them, in a certain way, shape, or form. So that way they can, use their blood as a serum for something that may really affect the world later on in life. I'm not conspiracing on nothing. This is me talking, right? But UCC 1-308, right? UCC 1-308. Now I'm gonna take the numbers 1 and 308, and there's a scientist, I forgot his name, but there was a scientist that he worshiped the numbers 369. When he left his house, or before he came home from work, he would do 3 laps around the block before he would park his car. He would do 3 laps around the parking lot before he parked his car at work. He was obsessed with the numbers 369. Why? Because it don't matter what mathematical equation you put any number in. If you do it right, it will equal 3, 6, or 9, right? So I'm gonna make that an example. I'm gonna fuck people heads up with this one, right? So, all right, so let me see something. All right, so basically, like, I'm gonna do 1-308, and I'm gonna do it as is, right? So 1 minus 3 equals 2, plus 0 equals 2. Plus 0 equals 2. Minus 8 equals 6, right? So that's 6. Now I'm gonna mix the numbers up again. I'm gonna do it again. Watch. So I'm gonna put 308 1. So 3 plus 8 is let's do 3 minus 8 equals 5, right? So 3 plus 0 equals 3. Minus 8, 8 minus 3, 8 minus 3 8 minus 3 equals 5 plus 1 equals 6. That's 2 equations I done did now. That's 2 equations. That's 2 mathematical equations I done did. We could do it. I'm gonna do another one now. I'm gonna fuck your head up with this. Now I'm gonna flip the numbers again. I'm gonna do 803 negative 1. All right, and so the equation to this is how should I do this one? Three minus one equals 2 minus 8 and 8 minus 2 equals 6. 666 on the board. 666. So this code is the devil's redemption code. If people didn't know, now that doesn't make me the devil. That doesn't mean I'm the devil, but it does signify in some way, shape, or form how to beat the devil's code. A lot of people don't understand how powerful that book is, bro. That Uniform Commercial Code book is so powerful. It is government docked in a vault in the library. You cannot get that fucking book unless you're studying for law or something like that. You cannot get the book. The book is so strong, bro. It took a certain individual, I believe. Well, the reason why they found the remedy was because the remedy was used, or they were basically trying to find out, well, how can you beat a contractual remedy within the court system, right? And that's how they did it. Because what you have to do is you have to link how courts use commerce as like a way of enslaving people. And the simple thing is through contracts. You have to agree. What people fail to realize about like cops, like police and shit like that, what people miss about that is at the end of the day, when they are doing, like, the county is a quasi corporation. The definition for quasi means something that is resembling, if seemingly not. It is not it though. Like, it's like a chair, right? Like a chair, or a trash can. That blue trash can over there, right? It is seemingly, I could make something as seemingly resembling that trash can, but it's not a trash can, right? Because of maybe the purpose, maybe, however, whatever use it's for, it's not used for a trash can, but I can make it look like, or it come in or resemblance of a trash can. So what in turn that does makes the police department is it makes them seemingly like they have authority over you. How? Through coercion. So what people got to understand about the law is using contracts to bind you to the courts, to the bondsmen, to certain individuals and certain things of certain lights and forms and shades, you know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of people really don't want me talking about this type shit. Because let me tell you something about sovereignty and shit like that. Like this shit right here, this ain't been made for black people. This was made a way to enslave black people. I took this code so I can challenge the old system. So that way when it does fail, all karma is cleared. But I failed my quest because, well, I didn't fail. I filed the complaint, but they keep denying me. They keep denying me, from DOJ to local court systems. They just keep denying me. They keep basically saying that the case is moot, and I'm filing to seem harassing the defendants. Like they basically saying, oh, you're just trying to harass the defendants. You're not really trying to make a claim. You don't really have no reason as to what's going on. You just want to prove a point. Well, that's the whole point of filing a lawsuit, is to prove a fucking point. A lot of people don't understand what really going on. So I'm gonna tell you, I ain't gonna sit back and watch motherfuckers just sink, cause somebody gotta say it, because if it's not said and it starts happening, trust me, it's gonna be a time. It might just be a time. Like I said, when martial law and shit like that take effect, anytime there's martial law, there is no judicial proceedings. None. There ain't no bond hearings, ain't no preliminary hearings. None of your rights will be considered. Not even constitutionally. None of your rights. They'll pack this fucking room up like a refugee camp if they had to during martial law, just to control the population, just to control shit. So, I mean, people could look at me as the devil. People could look at me as Satan. People could say, oh, you just fucked up and make in the midst of the game, but they better bow when time to come to bow. I'm not saying I don't bow to God or bow to Christ I don't bow to a system that is still systematically holding or locking or abusing my people. And anybody that kind of stands for that shit, I really don't fuck with you. They'll think that, because he gets niggas locked up, or he makes complaints, no, I'll make a complaint. I'm not pressing no charges on nobody. I don't do shit like that. I ain't pressing no charges on nobody. I ain't ever press criminal charges on nobody. I ain't ever press a criminal charge on nobody. If anything, I'll take you to civil court like the judicial system was already doing. That's even in biblical times, you went before a judge in a civil manner, not in a criminal manner, because anytime you went in the judge, like in the book of Judges and the book of Deuteronomy, the book of Leviticus, anytime the people had a problem, they'll bring it before the elders and the judges. You know what I'm saying? And the judge. And the elders is like basically the jury. That's how it used to be. Like how when King Solomon, he courted a situation that when two women had a newborn. They had a newborn, right? And one of the women, during her sleep, she rolled onto her baby and suffocated her baby and killed her baby. And she switched the babies. She switched the babies with the other woman in the room. And so she woke up to a dead infant while she had a live one. Now, the argument was she knew this wasn't her baby. She knew she didn't roll on her and suffocate her fucking baby. She knew that shit. So what in turn happened was since they couldn't come to agreement about the baby, they took it in front of the judge. Now, criminally, you get your ass locked up for that shit. But what happened in that scenario? Anybody that know the Bible, you tell me what happened to that scenario. What in turn ended up happening was the girl didn't die for killing the baby. She didn't even die. They didn't throw her in jail. None of that shit. What happened was King Solomon said, bring me a sword. I got something for all this shit. Y'all want to play? Y'all want to play these games? Give me a sword. Bring me a sword. Bring me the baby and bring me the sword. Now I'm going to cut this baby in half. You get half, you get half. And y'all stop the complaining. The woman who the child belonged to, she said, don't kill him. Let her keep him. Righteous woman. She didn't want to see the baby die. Let him keep him. Let him keep him. I want people to understand something. I want them to understand something very, very clear. The judicial system today is based on slavery. This ain't based on no justice. This ain't based on no restitution. This ain't based on none of that bullshit that they do trying to kick to the public. It is slavery. How and why? Because your Fifth Amendment right says you will not be violated of due process. And the 14th Amendment says slavery will be abolished, involuntary servitude will not be enforced. Now, involuntary servitude is basically like a peonage. It's like a form of forced labor in a sense. You know what I'm saying? And so like say But regardless of the fact, even in the Fifth Amendment, it says you will not be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. You get what I'm saying? So if like, and you shall not be held without life, liberty, or property without being duly convicted of a crime. If you go to a fucking county jail, what is that? Have you been convicted of a crime to be held in the county jail? No. So what does that make county officials? Don't worry, Cat Williams, I'll wait. So this ain't on me. I was trying to help you now. And kick my feet up because I feel like a boss nigga. Yeah, because these people got to learn something. They got to get it. They got to understand this system, it don't play fair. They want them under the fucking bus. Fuck me. They gonna try to do that to me. I'm the one telling it. I'm the one telling it. So I'll stand front line while everybody else works in silent. Just stay the fuck out of my way, because when the shit hit the fan, I'm going about this shit. This shit bigger than, oh, he told things that he was, this shit bigger than that. This system know what I'm doing. That's why people be like, oh, he talked too much. Let me fucking talk. Ain't y'all got what a lot what y'all got? The reset y'all got because of me running my mouth? Well, let me run my fucking mouth. It's doing something. It's doing more than what y'all actually want to admit. In some ways, they don't even like. But it's okay, because you're not going to like everything I got to say. You're not going to like everything that I'm pushing. But it's for the better good. It's for the better good. Y'all ass want to keep getting locked up for pistols, and they tell y'all Second Amendment right is the right to bear arms. Tell me where that makes sense at. Tell me where it makes sense where in common law states that if I do not infringe on nobody's life, liberty, or property, she can't sell me some of that pussy. Why is that a crime if common law states that, oh, she could, for her to make money, if she needs to make money, she could bump that ass up. I could pay her for it. We could do what it do, and we both leave with a fair exchange. That's commerce. The buy, sales, and trades of goods and commodities. That's commerce. It's simple. It's wordsmithing. A lot of people don't know like how to wordsmith. Even when you face the system, you got to know how to wordsmith. You got to, like, people don't understand that, and that's the reason why they was scared to face the system. Shout outs to Afeni Shakur, excuse me. Shout outs to that woman. She was the first black woman part of the Black Panther Party to stand and represent the whole party without a lawyer. I love that woman. To the dearest of my heart, she remind me of my mama. That's why I stand the way I stand. My mama ain't bite her tongue. She ain't bite her tongue for no white man. She ain't bite her tongue for no woman, no man, no none of that. She ain't settle for none of that. None of that. She ain't played none of that shit. She didn't bite her tongue. That's where I get it from. People get mad at me, blame it on my fucking mama. Blame it on my fucking mama, boy. Both of them. My biological mama put hands on people, and my adopted mama, she'd tell you about your fucking self. She ain't gonna bite her tongue, and I don't blame them for telling me about myself. I don't like that people bite their tongue with me. Tell me how you feel about me. It keep the confusion down when you go run to 20 people about me instead of running to one person about that person. It keep the confusion down. You get what I'm saying? But other than that, people got to understand something. Like, what I say and what I do is not to hurt people. I don't think they get that part yet. It's actually to save little black men like him from a system further down the line. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know where this I'm the devil shit come from, but I can comprehend because every contract that I go into, I reserve my rights under the UCC 1-308. I'm not bullshitting. I'm not gonna tell y'all a lie. The county is a a quasi corporation. It don't have no jurisdiction unless you give it to them. Basically, you got to sign the bond. If you don't sign the bond, that don't mean you're not going to go through the process. They're going to still put you through the process. That's under their policy to put you under that process. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, no, you're not gonna immediately be released. No. One thing I do like about Detroit though, they actually let you exercise your rights up here. That's why I came back. A lot of people don't understand the little reasons why I came back. Boy, down south, boy, if you don't give no fingerprints, if you don't, boy, they holding your ass. They gonna hold you. You gonna go through the process. Up here, man, them detectives don't come look for you. Ain't nobody press charge. Man, they let your ass go in 3 days. That's how the system is supposed to work. Detroit, that's why I like Detroit. That's why I tell these niggas all the time. How are y'all getting locked up? Y'all really gotta be acting the ass to get locked up. Bro, they call them, to the world, to people right now, I'm a rapist, I'm a pedophile, I'm everything that under the sun right now, and I'm free. And I'm free. I'm free. I'm free as a fucking bird right now. Them people is not fucking with me. I'm not some little nigga that they could just pick on though when it comes to the law. I know a little more. I know more of my rights than the average police knows about the law. They only enforce town code sections and town ordinances. Law, they don't enforce. The like the process of how that goes is basically, okay, so you go to a county jail, right? You get charged by like a county official. They're gonna charge you under a town ordinance or a city ordinance or whatever, right? Then you're gonna go to a general sessions, which in turn, like you sign that bond contract. That bond contracts connects you to the general session courts. That bond contract don't even connect you to the jail. Nowhere in the bond contract says you're going to have to sit in jail for the X amount of time, da-da-da-da-da, blase, blase, blah. The original proceeding was, and I know homegirls, and this how I know this is a race thing, right? Because I got homegirls down south, and I'll lick this flow, I'll lick the bottom of my shoe if I'm lying right now. I know homegirls down south. She called my brother. She called my brother and said, hey, I got locked up for a little bit of weed, right? Boom. So she got locked up for a little bit of weed, right? Now, what in turn ended up happening was my brother calls me. I'm downstairs. He like, Junior, come on. We gotta go get Chelsea shit. We gotta go get her car. She just got locked up. I need you to drive her car back. I'm like, all right, bet. Now, literally, I know I had a warrant. I didn't even know I had a warrant. So I go get Chelsea car. We meet the police at the gas station, and he's like, well, let me see your license. And so I give him my license. I didn't know he was gonna run my name though. So I give him my license. This is how I got locked up for possession of a stolen vehicle. So I give him my license. I give him the license, and then what ended up happening was he ran my name and I had a fucking warrant, so I ended up getting locked up. So he locked up 2 motherfuckers. He got 2 for 1 that night. And I'm looking at my brother like, motherfucker, you could have got the motherfucker. But he's so geeked up. He done sniffed the bag. We all off the bag. He done get geek up. He off the fucking bag. So he looking at me. I'm looking at him like, I'm geeked too. I'm sitting like, you motherfucker. I'm been mad as a bitch. I come to help your silly ass and this silly ass girl out, and I fuck around and get locked up, right? So I'm in jail, right? So my brother comes visit me while I'm in jail. He tell me, boy, do you know that Chelsea got booked and let go? I said, booked and let go? What do you mean? He's like, he just wrote her a ticket for the charge, booked her, like took her fingerprints and everything, and let the bitch go. You do not have to get locked up, especially for a ticket. If you get locked up for a ticket, it's crazy. A ticket is a fine. You just pay the fine and you go, or you do the jail time when you go to court and you don't have the money to pay for it. Plain and simple. It's not even about It's not even about doing like it's just like ticket court. Up here they call it civil court, but ticket court is just you pay the fine. If you ever get locked up for a ticket, that's you not knowing your rights. Even though some do, like disorderly conduct, that's not a felony. That's a ticket. That's a ticket. Like disturbing the peace is a ticket. It's not a felony. So you're not going to go through that type of process. You're not going to go through the general sessions process. You're just going to go to a municipal court and have it handled there. But I mean, I educate this because it's important. I've been through the process. That's what I'm saying. I tell people all the time. People think some people deserve jail, some people deserve prison. You don't know what a person deserves until you've been there. If you ain't got a homeboy in the grave or a homegirl in the grave that you go visit, if you ain't never been admitted to the hospital as a patient and you ain't never been an inmate in jail, you can't tell nobody where they deserve to go. Because until you've been there, then you'll know. Then you know that shit ain't no place you want to be. I don't give a fuck if you're homeless, cold. I don't give a fuck if I was in that cold right now. I'd rather be there than in jail. Why? Because I ain't got to listen to no fucking body. I ain't got to listen. I ain't got to eat when you tell me to eat. I ain't got to do none of that. I can go get me something to eat and then eat on my own time. I might not got a fridge to walk to, but goddamn it, I can walk to my fridge at the store if I want something to drink or eat. So that's how you beat the system. That's literally how you beat the system. You don't necessarily adopt the code. The code is for you to use as a tool. It's a tool. It's not a weapon. It's a tool. I don't like to even consider it as a weapon because, like I said, like even a gun is not even a weapon until you use it. It's just a tool. It's something you keep on you. And you know, just like a hammer. It's a tool, like a knife. Like my knife, this ain't nothing but a tool. I cut oranges and shit with this. I don't stab nobody with this. But it becomes a weapon if I gotta stab you with it. It becomes a weapon. But like I said though, it's very important for people to understand like their rights, the law, like things that's going on. Stop looking at me like I'm hurting the chosen. Oh, he's disrupting the chosen's path. Oh, he mocked the chosen. No, even if I did, that's for me to pay for. And for y'all to just stay the fuck out the way. This shit gonna get hectic. Because I know the system played me and people played me in the same sense. And I was actually trying to be good. I was actually coaching and telling people about this shit. So when time come, they know what to do. Don't sign that fucking bond. The county is a quasi-corporation. It don't got no jurisdiction until you give it jurisdiction by signing the bond. When you go to the bond hearing, this for anybody that goes to jail and you know you got a bond hearing and you go and you get your little bond. If the bond is too excessive, that's a constitutional violation. I don't give a fuck what the charge is because under I forgot what Bill of Rights it is or what constitutional right it is, but it states that I think it's the 8th Amendment. The 8th Amendment right gives you the right to not be held under excessive bail and cruel and unusual punishment. Real shit. So if you like the only time you get held with no bail is if you commit a capital offense. And that's murder. If you don't commit murder, you're supposed to get a bail. And you're supposed to get a reasonable bail. That's why in some states, like it fucked my head up one time when I saw that I was just watching on the news or something like that, and I saw another state give a man that committed murder a $75,000 bond, bro. Boy, they don't know where I'm from, boy. Boy, I lied. I'm not from Wakanda. Because Detroit is Wakanda. This is the city of Atlantis. It's an all-black city. It's the city of Atlantis. This is Wakanda. God sent me here for a reason. I needed people to know this shit now. This Wakanda. All these pretty-ass black girls and black men and black children around here. This Wakanda. Atlanta, that's Wakanda. Yeah. Los Angeles, that's Wakanda. Yeah. Yeah, Charleston, that's Wakanda. Yeah. Savannah, that's Wakanda. Yeah, like places where all black people is at, that's Wakanda. That's what kind of God sent me here for a reason. But if you turn me away, don't turn me away with a boot in my ass and a fine to pay and some more shit. Don't do that. Don't do that. This information is actually pretty good if you put it to fucking use. Y'all gotta put it to use. Don't think because there ain't no money sign in front of it, oh, it's not useful. It's very useful. You gotta apply it. I've done it. I actually can post some of the emails that I've actually used in court. I got emails that shows like, okay, the only reason why we don't uphold your remedy is because you're being represented. And that's what scares a lot of people when it comes to this UCC remedy, is because you can't have a lawyer. You can't have a lawyer. And if you do have a lawyer, you have to have your lawyer state these things for you in the courtroom. Like, you basically write it down, you tell your lawyer, you pay them, you tell them, here, this is what I want you to say on my behalf in the court. You pay them. Representation and counsel is two different things. When you have somebody representing you, that's like the gang. If I'm Crip, right? If say I'm under the gang Crip, that means I represent Crip. I represent what it stands for. I represent the color. I represent the morals, the ethics, the activity. I represent that. That doesn't mean I am Crip. I'm just affiliate. You feel me? That's why they say what set you under, because what set you are, because you're not Crip. You got certain sets that Crip is under. Like, I used to be from 30s. You feel what I'm saying? I used to bang 30s. You feel me? So it's like you're not. I'm not original Crip. Original Crip was Jamil Barnes, Raymond Washington, and Tukey Williams. Those were the Crips. They were the Crips. They were original Crips. Like, they made the shit. It was baby Cribs. Let me quit putting knowledge and shit out there. Let me stop that shit. But what people gotta understand is, like, you represent that. So when your lawyer steps in the courtroom, they are you, in a sense. In a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, you represent how I represent. Like, if I used to gangbang, how I would represent Crip, or the next nigga represent Blood. If your lawyer steps in the courtroom as your representation, your lawyer is officially you now. So anything your lawyer agrees to, you're gonna have to bite the bullet for that. And that's another thing that I hate about the system, because the lawyer just truth be told, unless you got a lawyer that actually loves you, a family lawyer. I recommend family lawyers that's been in the family for generations. Don't get no random lawyer. Get a lawyer you could build with. It's always good to have people you could build with. It's always good to have those people with a certain loyalty structure, because when it comes to like life and liberty, oh my God, bro, you want a lawyer that's actually gonna fight for your life, liberty, and rights, bro. You don't want no lawyer that's just trying to get you to plea. They represent you. That's like if she my girlfriend, right? She represents me when I'm out. She's a reflection of me. She represents me when I'm out. That's why certain people you let go, because if they can't represent you or reflect you, like how they say my brother was a mirror, I'm supposed to mirror what he was doing. I think I'm gonna start. These bitches look too good, and I ain't getting no ass. I think I'm gonna start punching dick in these hoes, dude. Fuck it. But it's just the point. They say that he was supposed to be mirroring. We supposed to be mirroring each other, right? Okay. It's the same quality and aspect of life that goes all around, especially in that courtroom. So I always advise people, when you get a lawyer, get somebody that's a family lawyer, somebody somebody that, okay, if your great grandkids get in trouble, this the firm you want to use. This the firm that the family knows. You get what I'm saying? Because it's a relationship. It ain't like how the courts have a relationship with your attorney, like your public defender or whatever the case may be. You want that same relationship. Like, public defenders and district attorneys go out to eat and shit together just to talk about a case. You know, off the record, of course, but just to talk about a case. Like, okay, you give me him for 8, I give you him for 5. That's the type shit that goes on. It's all commerce. It's all, you know, it's all politics and commerce. That's what the world built off of right now. It's politics and commerce. And so, like, commerce is a big thing. Like I said, uniform commercial code. What do you think commercials is? What do you think commercial does? That's the whole part of commercials, is to advertise commerce, the buy, sales, and trades of commodities and goods. So the Uniform Commercial Code is a code that helps you remedize anything that goes wrong within the buy, sales, and trades of large commodities and goods. And that ain't the only code. That book, bro, that book is $7,000, bro. That's a fucking... Bro, I couldn't believe it because I was going to buy it. I was going to buy it just to have, because it's such a good book. Like, that's the book of life right there, almost. Like, if you don't know economics, marketing, and commerce, I mean, in some way, shape, or form, like, you couldn't really run your own business successfully. Like, even this library, like, it couldn't be successfully ran if they couldn't get the proper books sent in and out. You get what I'm saying? It's commerce. It's trades of large sales, trades, buys and sales of large commodities or goods. So it's anything in life deals with commerce. A lot of people don't realize how important and powerful that is. And so, like, I try to get people to understand, like, this bigger than just, oh, no, boy, I'm trying to open y'all eyes and some shit, boy. Y'all better go get into marketing. Y'all better go get into some trade. Like crypto and shit like that. Learn these basic shit. Like, it's even with penny stocks. I suggest penny stocks. Penny stocks is a smarter, easier way. You won't get like excuse me. You won't get a big return on that investment. But just learning it along the way, like starting small, like with no margins, or no borrowing margins and shit like that. I know a little bit about it. It's not really hard. What you do is you convince the next party. That's what the movie, I think I explained this before. That's what the movie, what's the name? Wolf on Wall Street, with Leonardo DiCaprio and all them boys on there. Them boy was filthy fucking rich off pump and dumps. I'm talking about, and for those who don't know about pump and dumps in the stock market, pump and dump means you pump up a stock or a merchandise within stock. You pump it up as if it's the best thing going for you. Like, if you get this stock right here, right now, for this amount of dollars, you won't lose again in life. That's the mindset you want to sell people when you give them something, or when you try to sell them something. You basically try, and then by the time tomorrow comes, or the next hour maybe, because that's how stock goes. It like the value. It's all about. They say supply, demand, but I call it demand and supply, because if it's not in demand, you can't supply it. And you can't supply it if you don't have the supply of it. But if it's not in demand, you're not even going to go look to supply yourself with it. So I call it demand and supply. It's not really supply and demand in my head. But yeah, so they pump the stock up like it's something good, and then it dumps. The next hour, the next minute, it'll dump. Like, it'll drop. So say, for example, I pump like that statue right there, right? Say that's a stock. Say I got 1,000 stocks of those, right? Say 1,000 stocks of those statues. So I take 1,000 of stocks of those statues, and I got 1,000 people on the phone. You know what I'm saying? Stockbrokers and shit like that. I got them on the phone, and I'm sitting there like, hey, listen, you buy this Mona Lisa looking bitch here. I'm talking about this bitch gonna last forever, ever in your house. She gonna look beautiful forever. She gonna this, that, and the third, blah, 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 blah. Sell them a dream. You know what I'm saying? The next thing you know, I get them to buy that for $1,000 each. $1,000 each. I'm gonna just be reasonable. $1,000 each. I get them to buy that for $1,000 each, right? Now, next thing you know, the next minute, that bitch ain't worth a penny. That's why them boys was getting their ass locked up. A lot of people don't understand why they was catching charges and shit in that movie, because people was complaining. They was basically robbing people. They was robbing the people for their money for a stock that wasn't even worth nothing. You get what I'm saying? So it was like, I mean, it was a great idea because it made them rich. Like, them boys blowing cocaine out them girl ass and shit, boy. Them boy, I'm talking about buying up yachts. Had the IRS, all type of people on their ass, boy. But they was okay. They was making money. They was okay. You know, they took the bigger risk to, you know, basically finesse people. That's true finesse. Like, that's finesse. Like, they was finessing people in that movie. But it's the same thing. Just learn. People need to learn that shit. And people will look at girls will look at men that got Lamborghinis and shit like that and wonder what they do. Well, stocks. Everything is a stock. Chairs is a stock. Clothing is a stock. Shoes is a stock. Fucking everything in here is a stock. It came from something that at the end of the day they had a numeration of. They probably had 50 of those. The library chose to buy one for how much? I don't know. That was up to them what they know about how much it costs. But they had many of those in stock, like Walmart. Everything in this world is stock. That's the value. This painting is worth more than $1 million, but it's valued at man's expense. So when it's valued at man's expense, you got to understand something. That's when you got to comprehend, okay, what is value to me? Because that shit don't mean shit to me. It don't mean a goddamn thing to me. That bitch, I'll burn a fire with that motherfucker. But to some of these individuals, some of the most beautiful thing they ever seen. So it's valued at different ranges from different perspectives. That's why I try to tell people, understand something. The money, like reserve notes, is what made certain things a set standard value. Well, I lied. It's the other way around. Like oil is the set standard now for the the economy, some way, shape, or form. Somebody's recording me. Whenever that little green light in that corner of your phone is on, that means maybe the government or somebody's watching you. I've always kind of noticed that, and I did some research on it. So if you ever see a green dot in the corner of your phone, this just for future references, you're being recorded. Anything that has an IP address and a camera, you could be recorded. Like how they say they watching me now, everybody's being watched. If it has an IP address and it has a camera, they can access it like The Matrix, like the movie, how they got the wall with all the TV screens and watching everybody. They really got that shit. That's another topic. But anywho, so commerce is just basically something that everybody needs to get into, because in due time, if you cannot trade, you cannot have nothing. That's why Cuba is fucked up right now. Cuba is them people got cars from 1598 because they can't trade. They're povertized because they can't trade. That's why they revolted. That's why they revolted during the I forgot. I forgot. The Fidel. I forget my man's name. I forgot his name. I like history. I've always been big in history and shit like that. But yeah, that's what started the revolt, because during the Cuban Missile Crisis and during the Cold War, that's what basically stopped them from being able to trade. They was like, "Oh, you want hold missiles for somebody we had a Cold War with, huh? And you on this side." That shit was funny. It's not funny, but it was kind of jokey, because at the end of the day, like, Cuba didn't think about it. They just saw it as an opportunity because they're a povertized and dilapidated country or island, and so they just saw opportunity. They didn't see, I don't think they saw it the way the U.S. saw it, but the U.S. saw it like, oh, y'all motherfuckers think y'all slick. That's basically like finessing a little kid. You know he buying a dime. He come bring you $20, but you only give him $5 worth of weed, type shit. Like it's basically the same thing. So when you look at it like that, that's basically how Russia did Cuba. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, this basically is a little communist area where we can basically adopt it, but it's in the vicinity or region of the U.S. So of course it was a crisis. That's why they call it the Cuban Missile Crisis, because if Russia could put missiles that close to America, that's why recently they actually stopped Russian ships from porting at Cuba. They sent the ships, they turned the ships around. That wasn't too long ago either. That was about 5 years ago, maybe. I was in the county jail watching that shit. About 5 years ago, maybe. Not even that. maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago. Cuba tried to send, because Russia don't got no sea warfare or shit like that. Like most of their import come from land, because they're like, unless it's from California or something like that, you know what I'm saying, or Alaska or something like that, they really don't have no import from the sea. It's usually flown in or driven in, or Amtrak or something, maybe some sort of that nature, because a lot of their sea is basically like frozen until, you know what I'm saying, so they don't get much coming in from sea, you know what I'm saying. So like they was basically using, like they had vessels that was basically useless. It was just taking up space. So they was like, fuck it, we're gonna put it on Cuba's in the region of Cuba, because we basically got partnership with them. And so, but America was like, we don't know what's on them ships, and if you ain't gonna let us inspect it, turn them shit around, get them shit on. It was a big scare at the time, like 2 years ago. Like people was scared. People was like, oh my God, we might go to war behind this shit, because it was basically like, it was one of those tension things. Like it was like one of them drop my nuts on you type shit. Like Russia was like, fuck it, we gonna see how far we can take this. Let's see what America do. You know what I'm saying? Because Russia is not scared to go to war with us now. They not scared. They got China with them. They not scared now. Them people is not scared to go to war with us. That's why I be trying to tell people, we got a strong military. We got a strong, we got the best technology and shit like that. But there's other nations. Boy, fucking Japan sent a fucking artificial sun into space, bro. Russia was the first ones to send a satellite. I forget what's the name of the first satellite that ever went. Oh, fuck. Sputniks. It was Sputnik something. Sputniks. Oh, shit. Yeah, it was Sputnik something. Sputniks 11, something like that. This just off the top of my dome. I ain't did this research and shit like that in a while. But yeah, they was the first one to send a fucking satellite to space. That was part of the Cold War. The Cold War was basically a war on technology and war on politics. So like, and so with that being said, like, I think that was a drop my nuts thing. Like, we're gonna see, okay, if America really gonna try us, if we send, and America try to, boy, they was like, man, this shit ain't coming over here. Y'all ain't bringing these shit over here. And they stopped letting Cuba do trade. Like they prevent that. Like I said, Russia might have been sending something over here for Cuba, but due to the fact that it's in our space, like our airspace or whatever the fuck the case may be, they was like, hell no, send them shit back. Y'all ain't bring that shit over here. Y'all not bringing nothing over here. That shit can go right back where the fuck it is. Go send that shit right back. And they did. And they was like, y'all keep playing. We gonna start taking whatever's on them ships. That's what the U.S. said. They stopped the ships. That shit was a real crisis at one point back like 2 years ago. Everybody thought we was gonna go to war behind that shit. But Russia just didn't do nothing. They sent the shit back. I think they did confiscate something off them ships though. I think it was some weaponry and shit like that they got from the ships. But yeah, it was a real crisis 2 years ago. So, but Cuba is fucked up now because they don't have nobody to trade with. So just imagine now. Just imagine, say like this is Christ Hub right here. Or just some cult hub that which it kind of is. It's funny to say that because it kind of is. But say this is a hub, right? That they supply their own food, everything. That's why agricultural growth is important too. And I always told people that if you could grow your own food, you don't gotta rely on people. We work to eat, we grind to shine. So always keep that in mind. Like learn how to cultivate your own food and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't understand that until, but it's real. It's very real. And yeah, and Cuba don't got shit now because of the trade. They don't have no commerce. There's no commerce going through Cuba right now. And Russia keeps fucking it up for them because they keep trying to, well, not necessarily fucking it up because they might be trying to send food and whatever over there for them people. But America just ain't having it due to the Russian missile crisis. So, like people who dominate trade and shit right now, they gonna be the ones running this shit, boy. So I need people to really wake up and realize something. I'm not here to hurt nobody now. But if you think you gonna hurt me and get away with it, boy, we gonna have a problem, boy. I don't mind stealing and robbing. All that gonna do is take me back to my old days and my old ways. I done came a long way, is what a lot of people fail to realize. I came a long way. When I say I used to rob every day, I used to rob every day until I went to prison, learned my lesson, stopped doing the shit. Cause I mean, it's, I can speak about it now because I've done my time. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I done did fucking. Yeah, I got 2 strong arm robberies on my conviction on my record. I can't even get caught up with another strong arm robbery. I can't take that. Like, if next one I do, I'm going to trial about it. I can't take no more L's on that. If they fuck around and give me a 3, they can hit me with the 3 strike then. I can't take no more L's on that shit, boy. I cannot take no more L's on that. So that's why I try not to do it. You get what I'm saying? So, but with that being said, though, it's more of a thing of people need to learn, like, this code isn't to hurt nobody. It's not the devil's code. This is actually to rebuke the devil, to get out of a devil contract. Because that's how the devil gets you, is through contracts. I mean, not even just the devil, just the world at hand. Everything deals with terms and conditions to agreements. Everything's an agreement. If you consent to it, that's a contract. The definition for a contract is when 2 or more parties go into an oral or a verbal agreement. That's the definition of a contract. So I could say, hey, do you agree that if I did this and we amended this and I've amended it, do you agree not to mention this no more? What contract is that? Tiger Woods went in that same contract. That girl got him fucked up, and I was fucked up too. That girl got him fucked up behind that contract. What was the name of that contract? It's a certain contract. Some call it like a confidential agreement. Like, basically, it's an under wraps agreement. But for the most part, you know, like, everything revolves around contracts. If you're not, like I said, say I injure somebody, right? And to keep this from going to court, I say, hey, I'll pay you X amount, and we just, you know what I'm saying? We don't talk about this no more. None of this no more, right? And then the next part, and they agree to it. They say, okay, fine, I do agree and consent that this is no longer a problem. I won't bring this up no more. I won't tell nobody about this, that, and the third no more, right? Once that happens, and that person brings it up to anybody, if they even mention it again, you could sue them. They broke a verbal or oral agreement. You could sue them for that. And to free yourself from that contract, meaning having no liability to this person or anything ever, UCC 1-308. It's a contractual remedy. And recourse appears at UCC 1-103.6, which states, the code is complementary to the statute unless there is a clear legislative intent to abrogate the code. And to be in harmony with the code, you must bring forth the damaged party. Is there a damaged party? A victim? Respectfully, I ask that the courts produce an injured party who has filed a verified complaint against me. If you do not produce this injured party, this matter is considered settled. If you, like in any criminal court case, if they don't have the injured party there, to say this is what the loss we took and this is how it damaged our foundation or our structure of however what we had going on. Uh-oh, the library about to close.
It is now 5:45. The library will close in 15 minutes.
Yep, the library about to close.
Please have your books and other library materials charged out immediately.
Well, you know, just in time though. I'm gonna run this little 15 minutes up because I got it to do it anyway since we here. But Yeah, I try to get people to understand, like, people need to fall back. Fall back. Let these people do what they need to do when they come to me. I get it. They said I went against chosen ones and their destiny and their path. They went against mine too. Why? Because this code would have freed y'all from so much. I mean, so much. Y'all don't get it. They getting people to sign these bullshit petitions and shit like that. That's starting at a lower level, which is good. But in due time, y'all better kick that shit up, boy. Cause when niggas start running around doing crazy shit, it'd be martial law then. It'll be martial law then, boy. It ain't gonna be no, it'll be just throw your ass in there. Just throw him in there. For real. Just throw his ass in jail. Just throw them in jail. Don't say, they don't got no rights. You eat, you might get one meal a day. No rules apply. I lied. It's just no judicial proceedings. The rules of the jail will still apply, but there's no judicial proceedings. So people just better be aware of what they're doing and what they're trying to push against me, somebody who's actually fighting the system. Let me fight the system. I ain't begging nobody and I ain't asking nobody. I'm telling you, I'm gonna fight the system. If they try me with this R. Kelly shit, I'm gonna fight the system, bro. It ain't no way around that. I ain't none of this shit they trying to make me out to be, so I'm not gonna let them play with me like that. I'm not gonna let people play with me like that, because I know better. That's why I walk about my day and go about my days the way I go about it. I don't care what people think. I know I ain't that type of nigga. So once again, what people gotta come to realize and come to senses is what matters more. What matters more? People better start thinking, boy. They wanna have high vibes and live a high vibe lifestyle, boy, but life ain't high vibes. You're the vibe. People are the vibes. Creatures are the vibes. Nature is the vibe. Life is serious. Losing your fucking car because you ain't pay that car note is not a vibe. Oh, that is not a vibe. That's not life. That fucks your life up. It fuck the vibe up. When your ass gotta walk and you used to driving. So don't let the high vibes get the best of you now. Because I've noticed that people want to live a high vibe lifestyle, and what happens? They either end up going broke, being junkies. Why? Because they want to, yeah, we party, boy. Yeah, we party, girl. Yeah, we vibe. Yeah, it's the vibes. But it should be making me laugh, boy. Because people want to, it's the vibes. It's the vibes. So, with that being said, what people gotta understand is like, fuck the vibes. When you live in a hard knock life, who laughing? Who vibing? Trying to get something. Trying to go somewhere. That's why I don't fit into the molds. These people got it. People got it. They got it. They can live a high vibe. They can fuck bitches from here to yonder. They got money to do that. If you ain't got no money to do that, you ain't vibing. You're not vibing. I don't care what nobody say. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. You can say what you want. You talk about you vibing. You and your bitch broke, but y'all vibing. I mean, that's cool. That's cool, because I can vibe with a bitch when I'm broke. Because the vibe comes from the person, the energetic being, not life. Life is what makes you functional under a certain umbrella. You get what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people don't get that about life. Life is what makes you functional under a certain umbrella. It's not about the cars and shit like that. Like, I'm the vibe because I got a nice car. No, I'm the vibe without the car. So I'm not promoting be broke. I'm not promoting that now. What I'm promoting is self-awareness, enlightenment, and just like they said, authentic, being your raw self. And this is me being my raw self. I'm usually a quiet nigga, but I feel like, like learning something like this and actually being able to help people and educate people with this, I think it's a good thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. They try to call me false and wrong for the shit that I say and do, but I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. I think that people are just not used to somebody that has no filter. So, but at the end of the day, like I said, just like I heard, I don't think no one cares. Of course, they never cared. If they cared, they fight for them people to get a fucking building so they get them off the ground. Stop using my people for y'all to get y'all little grant money. But they don't want me to go there with that though. I don't care what they don't care about. I care about what I care about. Fuck what they care about. They got theirs. They straight. They got theirs off me. Low key. I mean, they work everyday work life, but you think I give a fuck what that white boy talk about? I'll black his fucking eye. After all the shit I'm going through, I'll black his fucking eye. I don't care what he talk about. I'll black his fucking eye. Because people always got something to say, but they ain't never got something to do to help the situation. They just rather be part of a winning side so they don't gotta lose. They don't gotta take L's. They don't gotta suffer. Scary. Motherfuckers ain't got no backbone. That's how I see it. Low key, but hey, you know, that's just my opinion. They gon' care though. They gon' care in a little while. They talking so they don't care. All right. I care now. So 20 years down the line, when you see this fucking video, I'm gonna sit back and be in heaven telling them, I told you so. They think I'm going to hell, bitch, you crazy. I go to hell, bitch, I'll turn the devil, I burn the devil up, they send me to hell, boy. Too hot. And bitch, I'm so hot, if God send me to hell, then the devil gonna pass out. Let me get some water. Oh, shit. But I'm gone. Another day down. I'm gonna upload this video so it'll be a good use for y'all in later terms. Cause they don't care right now.